There's so many invisible forces that are always working for your highest good, for your highest growth, for your highest evolution. But if you don't get out of your own way, you're going to keep creating suffering and pain and resistance until life forces you to take a step back, to be humble, and realize that your mind, the ego, couldn't possibly know more than the intelligence, the architect of the universe itself. It's so intelligent outside of us and inside of us. There's so many billions of cells and thousands of processes that are happening right now inside your body that you couldn't possibly be aware of. That is the same intelligence that is all connected in that spider web. That communication, that network of energy is within you and outside of you. So how can we possibly know what is best for us when there is an infinite intelligence around us that is always present, that is always loving us, and is always telling us that we need to let go, that we need to surrender sometimes to this higher intelligence, to life itself? Because if we keep forcing our way through, we're just operating on lack and scarcity, and you're going to feel that stress for the rest of your life. But if you're humble enough to realize that you couldn't possibly know it all, predict all of the outcomes, then you can find inner peace. You can experience a profound transformation, but only when you truly let go of that grip, of that chain that you've been holding for so long, right? That you've been pulling against life. It's almost like you're in a battle against life. The strength of life is way more than you, because you are a part of life, but you believe yourself to be separate. And so this little tiny separate self, which is your ego, is trying to pull against life. And so you try to pull so much that your hands start to bleed. Where are you going to make that conscious decision that you need to let go of that grip so that you can experience the freedom? Everything becomes so much more effortless and easy. And have you noticed that when you actually truly let go of something and you surrender it, right? Let's say that you've been seeking your soulmate for years and you're determined to get that you're almost addicted, and you do everything you can. You go on social media, you DM girls or guys, you go on dating applications, you go out to bars or to places to meet people, but because you're forcing it so much, it's not really working, right? Even if you're getting dates, something's not clicking, right? It's because you're forcing your way through, and life is sending you a signal and telling you it's either not the right time for you or you're not in the right place to look for that. Maybe there's a lesson you still need to learn. Maybe there's still some integration or healing that you need to do within. But just with the analogy of the chain or that rope that you're holding against life, what happens when you truly let go of that desire, that expectation, when you surrender to that desire of having an intimate relationship and you say, you know what, I trust life, I trust the universe, I know everything is working for me and everything happens at the right time, at the right place. I know that everything is perfect. What happens the next day? Something happens magically, either on the way to your usual destinations or a restaurant or a park or a library or whatever it might be. And without you even knowing, you meet your soulmate. And that is how life works. If you allow yourself to take a step back and trust yourself deeply, trust life and the universe deeply, you're going to experience more magic and miracles that you could ever imagine. And so to conclude the entire episode, by experientially knowing this, because I knew this in my mind for a long time, I was like, yeah, I know I need to surrender, I need to let go of control. You really need to integrate it, you really need to experience it. So practice with the small things. Try to let go of control of little things and then work your way up. But the final piece of the puzzle that I'll share with you is your ego is the only one who wants to be in control. Your true self knows that everything in life is perfect, that everything is happening perfectly for you. Even if you're going through a hard time, there is something good, there is something powerful behind that. And so if you realize that it was never you all along that wanted to be in control, that had this fear, that had this scarcity, this lack, that's going to give you a lot of freedom and inner peace and transformation, because you'll say, aha, I can see how my ego was creating these patterns and emotions of lack and scarcity. And so you can take a step back and hold that knowing, as I like to say, that you as your true self are connected to everything. You're part of the bigger whole. You're part of the big spider web and that forest. You're not only a strand. And so the more that you can contemplate on this, the more safe, secure, supported you feel, and it just keeps getting better and better. And so through this realization was the only way that I could ever go from who I am today, from that old version of myself who was literally the most negative, angry, resented, judgmental person that I ever knew. And that is the power, that is the miracle of surrendering, of letting go of that grip, of that rope that is currently making your hands bleed. That is the message for today. Thank you for joining me on this powerful episode. I'm JP. Thank you for your presence and your time. I will see you on the next one.